Lori here. I'm here today to do my February TBR. So I have some pretty ambitious plans for February, mostly due to I read a lot of contemporary books or have a lot of contemporary books on my TBR in February because I do have a week off in February because of President's Week. And I just want to read a lot of books. So I have the last half of this video is filled with a couple of books, a lot of contemporary reads. But I also do have other things planned. All of these books tend to have some type of romance component. But let's first talk about the TBR and Beyond reading books that the group chose and that we chose as to read together. So the first book is the second book in the Graceling series, and it's Fire by Kristen Kishore. Here's a pretty picture. This is the second book in that series. I'm actually like so close to finishing the first one. I really like it, so I'm really excited to see what character book 2 focuses on and see if I enjoy it as much as I like book 1. But the other book that the book club chose was These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is an Owl Crate book for the month of October, for December, I think. And it is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and I'm really excited to dive into this one. I gave them a couple picks of a lot of the romance books I wanted to tackle. They chose this one, and I do have some retellings on my TBR this month, and you guys will see them in a little bit, and I might be doing a reading vlog featuring all the retellings. But yeah, so those are the Time Warp YA Book Club books that I hope to read in the month of February. Now let's get into the audiobook. Every month I try to have a few audiobooks going. I try to have a nonfiction one and also like some lighter reads. So the nonfiction read I'm going to pick up this month, I hope, is the Stacey Abrams book. She has a couple, but this is the one I'm going to focus on. This one is called Lead from the Outside. I think this one is her first book, and I'm really excited to dive into it and start it. And I also have two contemporary romance books that I would like to read. One is the third book in the Bridgerton book. It's In His Kiss, and this is Colin and Penelope's book, which I'm really excited because I love Penelope in the show and can't wait to see how their romance unfolds. So here's the picture of that, but I will definitely, hopefully be listening to this one as an audiobook for sure. I don't have a picture for this one, but I am still listening to Beyond the Darkened Shore, which I have been being so bad at listening to audiobooks, and I'll tell you because I don't commute anymore, and it's really cold. So I don't go for as many walks as I normally do. So I just have to try to find a little bit more time, and I really have to actually play Animal Crossing because that's how I get my audiobook listening done. So I just have to make a little bit more audiobook listening time. That's a goal I'm going to have by the end of the month. I want to try to up my audiobook listening time a little bit. But the last book that I'm really excited to reread is Tweet Cute by Emma Lord, which was one of my favorite contemporary books of last year, and I just need to reread it. So here's a picture. I have to buy this one from Audible, but I'm really excited to reread it. And now I'm going to talk about some ebooks that I hope to tackle. Another one of my goals for 2021 is to actually read on my Kindle, which you would think would be an easy goal, but for me, I struggle with it a little bit. So I have 3 titles that I want to focus on. They're all arcs that I got from NetGalley, which again, I'm trying to get that score a little bit lower. So the first one is Taste of Love by Jennifer Yan. This is like, again, it's another like um, Asian parent type story. I think her mom like runs a bakery and she's trying to convince her mom that she's has more responsibility. So her mom signs her up for this cooking competition, but all the contestants in this competition are males that her mom wants her to marry or like date or something. That sounds adorable, and it sounds like a perfect like February read. I'm really excited. And I have quite a few baking reads on this TBR already from the contemporary YA authors you'll see a little bit later. So I'm really excited for this one. This one doesn't come out until February or March, but I'm really, really excited for it. And then another book that I have added to this TBR is Fable by Adrienne Young. Here's a pretty picture. I think I was watching Peace Loves Books. I think, and she said that this book has a romance subplot, and I really am excited for that. especially in the month of February. So I really hope that I get around to reading it and enjoying it. And the last book I'm going to talk about is the newest addition to my TBR, to my Neck LQ, and it's These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. And here is the pretty picture, but this kit cover is stunning. This is a fae book, and since Cruel Prince, I have been hunting for some fae books to enjoy. So I hope this book does the trick and that it's exactly what I'm looking for, because I really, really want like a fae book, and this one sounds perfect. So the last couple of books I'm going to chat about are just some physical books that I have tossed on my TBR. But the biggest one, and this is one that I did not get to in January, and I'm really, really sad, and that's Way of Kings Part 1. This is a series I desperately want to start, and I just don't know how to do it. And I'm contemplating maybe doing like 100 pages, reading 100 pages, and then giving myself a contemporary break. So I don't know. I'm contemplating how to read this because it's quite ambitious. I may just fall in love with it and just want to read the whole thing, but I'm going to try to make some progress in it this month. Even if I don't finish it, that's my goal. Another one of my high goals to read is A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kimmerer. I think this is the final book in the Vow series by her. I really like the first two. I really can't wait to see how this book concludes. And I just adore these characters. And this is another one on my purchase thing. Like, as I purchase more books, I can buy more, but this is one that I do have to read for that. But I really love these characters so much, and I really hope that I get around to reading it soon. And also, this is another one that I have had on my TBR for so while, and this is like, I think this is a Rapunzel? Yeah, this is like, oh no, this is an Aurora retelling, I think. And I think that I also have the sequel. I've had this for so long. I got this from Book Outlet back in the day when they didn't treat people terribly. But I have been hankering for some fairy tale stories, and I hope that this one does the trick. And the last two books on this TBR are books that, again, were from, sorry, my camera is not there, is from my January TBR that I just didn't get to, and that's Wild Lore, The Accidental Apprentice by Amanda Foody. This I actually am on a potential blog tour for, so I do need to actually read it. And also A Song of Wrath and Rune by Rosamund A. Brown. This is also a fantasy book, but it does have a heavy romance plot in it. So I'm really hopeful that I will have an incredible reading month in the month of February. But again, now I'm going to show you guys the contemporary books that are going to make up a majority of my reads this month. I'll warn you, there's quite a bit. So I am very much a mood reader. I've said that I'm very much a seasonal reader, but February is the month that I tend to want to read a lot of romances. I don't know why, but it just tends to fall. So I actually have quite an ambitious TBR. Majority of these books are just on my TBR card, and I will probably get to some of them, not all of them. But again, I have a pretty ambitious list. I'm just going to kind of go through them quickly. Most of these I've heard about from so many different people that have really enjoyed them, mostly from Bookables because she reads a lot of romances books. But yeah, I'm really excited to tackle these. So let's get into it. I think I could probably read like about 5 or 6 of these, but these are the books that I'm just pulling from this month. The first one is Love in Olives by Jenna Evan Welsh. I have really enjoyed all of her books. This one is set in Santorini, Greece, and I think she's sent to go live with her dad, and he's he's involved in the lost city of Atlantis. And this book is massive. This book is a very, very long read, but I am so craving books about travel because we can't go anywhere. So I really hope that this book is like perfect because it has travel, it has a cute romance, and it does talk about Atlantis, and I like Atlantis. I think it's like a cool myth. So this one is one that I definitely hope that I read, and I really enjoyed her other books a lot. Another one that I had high on my list is Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chow, and this is about a girl named Chloe Wang whose parents are super strict, and they want her to date like a proper boy, so she winds up renting a boyfriend, and I'm sure hilarity drama will ensue, but it just sounds cute. And I liked her first book, American Panda, so I hope that I like that one as well. Another one that I got this summer was the Life in Medieval Times of Kat Swetley. Um, and this is about a girl who like it involves a medieval festival or like a Renaissance festival, and she has to like take the position of her brother as a knight, but girls can't be knights in this town, I guess, or in this company. That sounds cool. I love a good concept YA novel. I say this like every single time I do my, I talk about YA contemporaries. I love a concept YA novel, and this one screams that. And I really hope that I enjoy it. And again, we can't do anything. We can't go anywhere. We can't do anything fun. So I'm just trying to escape into some fun reads with some fun concepts. Another one is Smash It by Francine Simone. This is another book where I think she just makes a list that's kind of like, you know, she has to like punch out of her comfort zone, and it's called Liv's Effort List. And she says, be bold, do things that scare me, learn to take a compliment, stand out instead of back, go on a date, and stop crushing, and move on. And I got this one recently, so it's on also my read books that I actually buy TBR, but this is one that I hope that I enjoy. Another one is There's Something About Sweetie. This is the companion novel to When Dimple Met Rishi, and this was Ashell and Nair, sorry, Ashell and Sweetie. And I think that this one is just I've heard really good things. I think that this one has good plus size representation as well, and I'm really excited to get to it. And then another one is The Cuban's Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. I have another Laura Taylor Namey book on this one as well, but this one is about a girl named Leia Reyes, and she's dealing with some anxiety and depression. So she winds up moving for the summer to go live with her aunt, and her uncle, and they run like a bed and breakfast, I think. And she winds up meeting a boy, and I think it kind of helps her mental health, and just being in a different place sort of helps her mental health, and I'm really excited about it. I've heard really good things about this one. I heard that it's super cute. And then another one is Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon. I haven't read anything by David Yoon, but this one just makes me smile. It's about a guy named Sunny, and he winds up, like, people mistake him for being like a rock star, and this is kind of the development of that. And it's so rare to find a YA contemporary novel told from only the male's point of view, and also written by a guy. I don't see those very often, so I really want to dive into this one and give you guys my thoughts. Again, I told you guys I have a lot. I also have Throw Like a Girl by Sarah Henning. This one is a mix-up between Friday Night Lights and The Unexpected Everything. And when Liv loses her scholarship at a fancy prep school, she has to go to like the town, like the local high school, and she has to take the place of their quarterback so that she can get a spot on the softball team. And I'm sure drama and drama will ensue in this sports romance. And this is Sarah Hennon's first foray into contemporary, and I really do like her fantasy read, so I hope I like this one as well. And The Unexpected Everything is like one of my favorite contemporary novels of all time. Another one is by another one of my favorite contemporary authors is The Lonely Hearts Club by Elizabeth Eulberg. And I think that this is about a group of girls that just decided that they don't want to date anyone. And her books are always super short. I read Better Off Friends a couple of years ago, and it was such a fun read. And I really hope that I can read more books by her in the future. And then another book is the first Laura Taylor Namey book that I have on my TBR, but this is The Library of Lost Things. And this is about a bookshop. And I have a thing about bookshops, and I really am excited for this one. And then another book that I will... so another thing I'm going to try to do on my TBR is I'm going to try to pick like TBR books that I've had on my TBR for quite a while, and sort of do a reading vlog every month, sort of tackling them. So the 3 books I am going to do this month, I hope, is Speak Easy, Speak Love by Michaela George. This was a book my friend wanted me to read, and it's a retelling of Much Ado About Nothing with a 1920s twist. So this is the one that I pulled off my shelf. Like when I'm filming, there's a shelf here where I read, And I'm just going to pull a book off my shelf every single time I finish one, and that's going to hopefully get down my TBR a little bit. And because we're in a romance month, I did also pick up two like like um contemporary romances, like on the adult side. So, and again, their concept, they have to do with cooking. One is Kiss My Cupcake by Lena Hunting, and one is A Sweet Mess by JC Lee. This one has to do with cupcakes, and this has to do with baking, and I tend to like those as a concept. So yeah, these are like my impressive. So that is my pretty impressive TBR for February. I know I won't read all these. I just like to have options. I also do have a month off in February because it's winter break. We also have fewer days, but I'm just trying to just take it easy with reading and not be so stressed out. One thing I'm not doing this month is I'm not reading a whole lot of series just because of the contemporary books I want to tackle, but they are really tackling my backlist books that I do want to read. So it's just kind of the balance. But I hope you guys like this video. Let me know what are some contemporary romance books or just contemporary books in general you're going to tackle. Let me know what you like to read around the holidays. Some people like to read fantasy. I like to read romances. And I will talk to you guys for my next wrap up at the end of January. But I'll also talk to you guys next week for another video. Bye.